Today I want to talk to you a little bit about two models of reality, and as a way of introduction I'm going to talk to you a little bit about an experiment in quantum physics called the two-slit experiment. And essentially the scientists that were running this experiment were trying to determine whether a certain new form of energy was a particle or a wave. Okay, so they set up this experiment. The experiment itself isn't important, but it involved two slits. And they shot this energy at a wall with two slits on it, and they were able to determine whether or not the energy was a particle or a wave by the impression that the energy left behind the wall with two slits. And it turned out that sometimes the energy behaved as a particle, and sometimes the energy behaved as a wave. And later on, people decided that what this could mean, and obviously it's always a theory, but what it could mean is that the act of observing the experiment caused the particle, the energy to decide to be a particle or a wave. So, if the observing scientists decided to see a particle, they saw a particle. Or if they decided to see a wave, they saw a wave. Okay, so remember this, because this sort of leads you to ask the question, can our intentions or can our thoughts, or maybe even our consciousness, at some level affect what happens in physical reality? Okay, so let's talk about two different models of reality. The one that you're familiar with I'm going to call objective reality. And this is just ordinary reality as you see it today. Okay, so objective reality. That means that solid physical matter is primary in the universe. Okay, separation is real. I'm you, you're me. There's a desk over there. There's chairs in the room. Everything is as it seems to be in the objective world. I'm here, you're there, and we're not necessarily connected in any meaningful way, unless we, get together and communicate. Consciousness, the idea of consciousness in this model, is a phenomena created by the brain. So, if you don't have a brain, you're not conscious, and that's what most people believe. Stuff is real. You need stuff, and that stuff being real creates that need. So need is real. You actually have needs, and we all agree that we have needs. That's the way the reality is. We need food, we need water, we need work, we need physical needs, we have spiritual needs, we have all kinds of needs, but we do have needs. So in objective reality, needs are real. Again, if you need things, then loss is real, right? And addictions are real. You need things. You need medicine. You need health. You need wealth. There's need, and it's real. So now let's move on to the model that you're less familiar with, and that's subjective reality. And that's going to sound a lot different. Okay? So in subjective reality, and this was put forth recently in a book called Biocentrism. And in this book, the scientist whose name I'm going to have to figure out before I get this speech, put out the idea that actually consciousness is primary in the universe, and that the physical universe actually arises from consciousness. Okay, so let's move forward with that idea. Separation, the idea that you're separate from me and objects are separate from one another, that's an illusion. Any form of separation is an illusion. Okay, so we can talk a little bit about this, because if you think about the boundary of what you consider your body, is an illusion, because we already know from science that we're just hard to perceive this, but we're just jumbles of slow-moving energy, and that there's really no boundary between the layer of my clothing and the layer of my skin and the layer of the air surrounding my body. It's just more energy. What keeps it together, I have no clue. But It's more that we just perceive it that way. In reality, it's just all a big jumble of energy. So separation is illusionary in this model. A need goes away. Okay, you really don't need, if you don't need a physical universe, you don't need a physical brain, you always are. Now, I'm not saying you're going to keep your memories, you probably won't, but when your physical body dies, you still, under this model, you still will at least have a sense of beingness. You'll know that you are. You will still exist. Your consciousness will still be conscious. But what it'll be and what form it'll take, that's up to you. But in this model, consciousness is primary, so it can't be, it's kind of like energy, it can't be created or destroyed, it just is. And it always is. So health and wealth, again, those two can be consciously created. You don't really need anything to be healthy other than a choice. It's choosing to be healthy and wealthy too. Love takes on a different meaning in this model. If we're all one, and that's what this model puts forward, self-love and love of others is the same thing. So why would I act in any other way other than a loving way towards others? Because if I do that, then I'm just only being unloving towards me. There's more me out there, and I'm being unloving towards it. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense in this model. And love is always unconditional in this model. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to want to hang out with everybody. You're still going to have preferences, and you're going to be an ordinary person. It just means that your overall outlook on everyone should be unconditional love. You would, and it's a good idea. Okay, so we talked about two different models, sort of models of reality. We talked about the objective model of reality, where separation is real, and then we talked about, that was the objective one, separation is real, okay? And in the subjective model, separation is illusionary. Mr. Toastmaster.